course, wet, wet, wet.
They'll be answering your questions later, and of course...
From Fenton, over the water, on the Wirral. How do you feel about meeting who... we assume they're your idols.
Yeah, very surprised and excited.
How long have you been a fan
for? Over 5 years.
Why are they so special, as far as you're concerned?
Because the music's really good, and like down to earth, and everyone's enjoying themselves.
Now, we believe that you actually have a hospital radio programme, don't you? Whereabouts is that?
At Park Hospital.
Would you like to interview them on your hospital radio programme?
I would.
Well, we've got the second best thing for you because you have a few questions for them, don't you, today? So fire away, Lynn. Best of luck. Your debut as an interviewer on the telly.
Hello. We'll eventually get to meet you.
Go on, your first question.
Does having a private life get you down?
Top question. I think we're all quite similar in this, in as much as we keep our private life very private. We don't let anyone really interfere with that. I think if we lived in London, it would be quite difficult because the press chase you there, but in Glasgow it's quite easy. Yeah. You know, we're like the local boys done well, so everyone knows us to say hello, but no one really interferes, you know. And plus, as you say, we're down to earth, so we don't walk around with gold lame suits on, you know, try to show off. Apart from Graham, who wears them quite a lot. So we're quite down to earth, and we keep our private life very private.
Okay. And what's the best part of the business?
Well, I guess having travelling around the world, our job's a great vehicle for us to go and visit places that we could never ever imagine that we'd ever get. Well, the money has a little bit to do with it. So I guess travelling's great for us. We thoroughly enjoy it.
What's the most interesting place you've ever visited?
Amsterdam.
Why?
I like it because it's a very cosmopolitan city with a village attitude.
A lovely way of putting it, I think. Now, what about, let's talk to Graham just for a minute. We do have some other questions from viewers. And Kerry Kavanagh from Norris Green in Liverpool wanted to ask, this is a great question, what's going through your minds at 5 minutes before you go on stage?
That's me in the spot. I mean, that's when you start getting nervous. I mean, because we've been doing it for like 5 or 6 years now, you know, playing live in sort of big arenas, it's like, you know, all day, you know, you're building up the gig and you're not thinking about what's going to happen, but 5 minutes before you go on, it's like kind of...
Yeah. Thank you for that sound effect. Some people will be surprised, David, after all these years, you still get nervous.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's part of it, you know, the...
Excitement as well. It's not just nerves, it's more excitement. You know, you get yourself excited. In a strange sort of way.
Now then, Jennifer Booth from Walkden near Worsley. She asks, how did the group first get together? Neil hasn't spoken yet.
Well, we all went to the same high school together in Claybank, Scotland, where we grew up. And basically we just started picking up a musical instrument. Tom was the drummer. Well, I was actually started out as the drummer then.
You weren't good enough, weren't you?
I was.
No, just to Tom was a better fighter.
And I've never actually forgiven Tommy for that. So I decided to take up keyboards, and Graham was the bass, and we were looking for a singer. And
you discovered us, Neil, didn't you?
Do you think, I mean, how incredibly lucky you are to have come so far, or do you think you're incredibly talented and you knew you always would?
I think what you do is, I mean, yeah, there's luck involved, but I think you make your own luck, you know, it's like, there's important ingredients that you need to have, I think, to be a successful band, and that is, you know, down to not so much image, but more like good songs, a good singer, and we certainly got that going for us, and that's why we were successful, I think, you know.
Yeah,
and the fact that we were
argue.
young at the time, you know, we're a wee bit older now, but we were young, and so the young people, I guess, could relate to us.
Yeah, just a wee bit older now. Lynn, you've got another question, haven't you, for the work that way?
Is it true you writing songs for Cliff Richard?
Well, I mean, he was a big fan of one of our songs called Goodnight Girl. Uncle Cliff, yeah. And, well, we basically met him when we were doing Top of the Pops, and he asked us, you know, he said, if you've got any more songs like Goodnight Girl, can I please have them? And we said, no, because we want them. Because we need them, you know, really. And he just said, well, if you write a song that's in the vein of my particular type of music, then I'll gladly take it. And we said, well, Cliff, if the price is right, then you can come on down.
It's more like, you know, it's very flattering for somebody to, you know, come in and say, I really like that song. So, I mean, we're not setting out to say, yeah, we're going to write an album for Cliff Richard. I mean, we're happy to write for anybody, I think, you know.
Can I just ask very, very, very quickly, monosyllabic answer if you don't mind, are you very good friends with Kenny Dalglish? So says Julie Petrie from Runcorn.
King Kenny, that is. Yeah, King Kenny.
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah,
big mate.
We met him a few years ago, and we found out he was a big fan of a song of ours called Angel Eyes. And once we were playing the Wembley Arena, and we asked him to come up and sing the song Angel Eyes, so basically Kenny should stick to kicking footballs.
That was a good monosyllabic answer. It's a big fat yes. Wait, thank you very much. We'll hear from you again a little bit later. And have you enjoyed yourself, Lynn?
Well done, Lynn.
Well done, Lynn. Over to you, Bob.